Communication is a topic that many never think to learn about, but also a topic that affects our lives more than we know. Through communication, we're able to make decisions, meet needs, and learn new things. In this speech, I'm going to address the topics of meeting needs through communication, how communication is learned, and the ethical implications communication has. Learning about communication can help make you a better communicator in your own life. One of the main concepts of communication is that it meets needs, whether that be physical, instrumental, relational, or identity. Communication helps meet our physical needs every day since we are able to express what we need. For example, we have the ability to call emergency services, such as 911, when we feel our safety is in danger or when someone needs immediate medical attention. When people are isolated for too long, it takes a toll on their physical well-being as well. Instrumental needs are needs that help us achieve goals and complete day-to-day tasks, and communication helps us to fill these as well. An example of an instrumental need would be your boss offering incentives to employees who meet quotas for the day. Relational needs are needs that help maintain interpersonal relationships and social bonds. By using communication, we are able to form, maintain, and dissolve friendships and relationships. By communicating, we are able to find common interests with others and form a friendship with them. Communication also allows us to maintain these relationships by planning activities to do together in order to strengthen the relationship. Finally, identity needs are the needs we have in order to present ourselves to others the way we want them to see us. Communication allows us to establish this identity by comparing ourselves to others in order to form our identity, as well as presenting different identities in different social contexts. Another key concept in communication is the idea that communication is learned. As babies, we are born with the ability to communicate through crying. However, as we grow older, we realize that everyone communicates differently and this is because communication is learned. Communication is also symbolic, which means that the language systems do not always correspond to a physical object, but rather something we tie to that word or phrase. Due to this, each region of the world has their own language system with their own symbolic meaning. This also means that the communication that is learned will not always be the same throughout the world. For example, the word book in English and the word book in Spanish are completely different in the way they are pronounced, however, they both have the same symbolic meaning. A third important concept in communication is that all communication has ethical implications. The way we communicate changes the way we view things as right or wrong. For example, in the United States, we enjoy the right to the freedom of speech as protected in the First Amendment. However, many argue that the freedom of speech should not include the right to make hateful comments towards others. While hate speech can be considered wrong morally, our freedom of speech can also make it seem like an appropriate way to talk to people. In conclusion, communication is something we can't forget about. Communication surrounds everything we do and even affects the decisions we make in our daily lives. The ethical implications of communication, the way communication is learned, and how communication meets needs are all important concepts to know in order to be a more successful communicator.